and welcome to another video tutorial. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to knit the lateral braid, which is also called a Vikkel braid or an Estonian braid. The braid gives a really beautiful effect when you want to divide for example, a border and the leg of your sock, but you can also use it between the border and the rest of your sweater, or at the before you start the border of your sleeves, or when you're knitting a hat. You can actually use it in any project you want if you want to give your project the extra touch. You can just put the lateral braid into your pattern and then continue the pattern as it is. I'm going to show you how to work the lateral braid. I am showing you the lateral braid on magic loop because that's my preferred method of working in the round. You could also use a circular needle, just don't forget to get out the stitch marker. First I have to bring the last stitch of needle 2 onto needle 1. That's because we don't want to leave a hole between needle 2 and needle 1 when we make the lateral braid. So there is the stitch. Now I start working in the second stitch on my left hand needle. So I take my needle and I bring it through the back loop, but first I have to prepare my yarn the right way. So I knit through the back loop of the second stitch. So I insert the needle, I knit the stitch, but I don't take anything off, and make sure you are working this through the right stitch. And then I knit the first stitch on my left needle, and then I drop the 2 legs of the worked stitches again. At first we have to bring the stitch back to the left hand needle, and then we insert the needle through the second stitch through the back. We knit, but we don't take it off, and then we knit the first stitch as normal, and then we drop both legs of the stitches we worked. Again, the stitch back to the left hand needle, knit through the back loop of the second stitch, don't take it off yet, knit the first stitch on the left hand needle, and then drop both legs. And we keep repeating this until the end of needle 1. And I work this with a thicker yarn. You can also work with thin yarn, but this was easier to show you. And now you see the lateral braid appear. We keep repeating this to the end of needle 1. And then I show you at the end, we just do the same thing again. And drop both stitches. And now we have to bring the last stitch of needle 1 onto needle 2 to keep working on the braid. So slip the last stitch of needle 1 and pull the thread 2 through. And now this stitch is on needle 2. Just pull the yarn a bit so the stitch gets tighter. And now we start working on needle 2, and we do exactly the same. So we knit through the back loop of the second stitch, and then we knit the first stitch as normal, and then we drop the legs, and we keep repeating this until the end of needle 2. Now the lateral braid is finished. But if you now start knitting again, just like normal, just following the pattern, then it will bring a hole to your work. And to prevent this to happen, we take the last stitch of needle 2 on to needle 1, and now you need a crochet hook that is you see here you would have a hole, but now with a crochet hook in the same thickness as your knitting needle, we work through the V of the first lateral braid you've made. So from needle 1, from top to below, and then we turn the crochet hook like this, and then we bring the first stitch or the last stitch from needle 2, we just put it on needle 1, we put it on the crochet hook and we pull that through the other stitch. Now I bring it back, and then I have to bring this stitch back again to needle 2 because that's where we took it from, and now the hole has been closed, and now you can start working on your pattern again, and then you will have a closed, beautiful lateral braid. If you start working the first stitches, you will see that the stitches below the lateral braid are a bit elongated. That's normal. That's just how it works after having knit a lateral braid. So that's totally normal and fine. Well, if your work is finished at the end, you can go back to the lateral braid, and where it's a bit tight or a bit messy, you can just use your crochet hook to get it a bit more fancy. Now it looks very nice. And this is how you work the lateral braid. Pretty, isn't it? Well, hopefully that worked for you and you can now knit the lateral braid. Maybe you want to try it out in my never-ending story socks. The pattern can be found on my Ravelry design page and also on mirjammolenbeek.nl. If you want to, I've got some more videos in English over here. You can subscribe to my channel so you'll get a notification every time when I put up a new video. I wish you happy knitting and maybe until a next video. Bye bye!